Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our living room today. I want to start off with a classic verse this morning. Psalm 118, verse 24 says, "This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." The verse was originally written as pilgrims were going up to Jerusalem, and they were going to enter into the temple, and they were saying, "This is it, the day that we've been waiting for. We get to go into the Lord's presence and experience something amazing." Well, every day is that day for us who believe in Jesus Christ. Every day we have an opportunity to go into His presence, to serve Him. So every day we can say, "This is the day the Lord has made. Today, I'm going to be present in the present. I will choose to rejoice in this day." If you have that attitude, you're going to have what we talked about this weekend, the positive expectation that God is going to work today. And it is a frame of mind you can choose. I talked about the fact that naturally, I'm a pessimist. All this stuff about optimism, this is stuff that I've had to learn. But it is learnable. I want to read you a little story that I read in a magazine. This was written by a surgeon, Dr. James Brown. Not that James Brown. This is the surgeon, James Brown. And he writes this: "As we rolled 5-year-old Mary into the MRI room, I tried to imagine what she must be feeling. She had suffered a stroke that left half of her body paralyzed and had been hospitalized for treatment of a brain tumor." This is a 5-year-old. "Mary went into the MRI machine without the slightest protest. We began the exam. Now, at that time, each imaging sequence required the patient to remain perfectly still for 5 minutes. That would be difficult for anybody, especially a 5-year-old. About 2 minutes into the first sequence, we noticed her mouth was moving, and we heard a muted voice over the intercom. So we had to stop the MRI exam and gently remind Mary not to talk, and she smiled and promised she would not talk. We started over. Once again, we saw the facial movement. We heard her voice faintly. Everybody was becoming a little impatient. We had to slide Mary out of the machine again and say, 'Mary, you were talking. That causes blurry pictures.' Mary's smile remained as she replied, 'Oh, I wasn't talking. I was singing. You said no talking.' We looked at each other feeling a little silly, and somebody said, 'Well, Mary, what were you singing?' And the barely perceptible reply came, 'Jesus loves me.' I always sing 'Jesus loves me' whenever I'm happy." Everyone in the room was speechless. Happy? How could this little girl with a brain tumor and half paralyzed be happy? The technologist and I had to leave the room for a moment to regain our composure. "And many times since that day," he writes, "when feeling stressed, I've thought of Mary and been both humbled and inspired. And I've sung to myself, 'No matter what I don't know, Jesus loves me. This I do know, for the Bible tells me so.'" You want to go through life with a positive expectation, even when things are stressful. You keep reminding yourself, Jesus loves me. I'm telling you, Jesus loves you, and He will never leave you, and He'll never forsake you. You believe that? Go through life with that positive expectation, and you're going to have a great one.